Hi, Linda.
Hi, Claudia. Well, this is very exciting. I have
There.
a professional person that I've worked with for many, many years, a longtime friend too, but a professional person that 25 years we've worked together. And I'm just going to introduce myself and then introduce her, and we're going to do a couple of questions on an exciting topic. The new moving process, or in other words, the way we used to move, the way we now move, the way we may move. But basically, Claudia McLaughlin is able to assist you in any way you move. And I'm going to explain why and how she does it a little and how I'm able to help you. And we're going to go from there. And if you end up having questions, you can contact me, Linda Martin, at Linda Martin, liveinplainnorthshore.com, or Linda.Martin at cbexchange.com. Claudia will give you her contact. We're both all over social media. Whatever you need to find us, you'll find us. And we're there to help you 6 feet away. Trust me. So I'm Linda Martin from Coldwell Banker in Winnetka. I do business in real estate from city to shore. In fact, interestingly enough, even during COVID, one of my listings in Lincoln Park sold with multiple offers, over asking, and closed during COVID. And we used a service similar. The seller himself actually did it, but did the same type of process Claudia and her team do. So I find it incredible that in this time of need and challenging times, we're finding ways to manage it even better than before. And I think it'll change the way we do things to make us even better than we were before. So that's pretty exciting. I like to think I give my clients white glove service, and I know Claudia does because she's done it in action. And we're going to talk about in a minute one of the clients that she's worked with through me and how the process was. So Claudia McLaughlin is the founder, and I think that's pretty impressive because she's been doing it for 25 years. The founder of CMFTO. It's a company that is specializing. She's an interior design firm, and they specialize in preparing houses for market, helping to get them moved. They do more than all that. They source out your resources if you're trying to not move things, either sell them, donate them, or repurpose them. And to me, that's amazing. So I'd like to welcome Claudia to our Zoom call in the new age, and fire away with all the wonderful things you do, Claudia, and maybe one of our first connections and how that happened.
Well, number one, Linda, thank you for inviting me today. Makes me feel very special.
You are.
Because interior design, thanks, in interior design, I was very accustomed to handling multi-faceted projects. And when one of Linda's clients reached me, compliments of Linda, all she needed me to do at the time before she fully understood the breadth of our services was help her to dispose of the items that she or her family members didn't want. So what we always talk about, first and foremost, family members, she said most of her family members had signed off. There would be quite a shipment going to both coasts of this country. And she said, here's the balance. I don't know what to do with it. And frankly, I don't care what happens to it. And I love to give value to people. And what's better than delivering checks or having auction houses deliver checks to your client and have them greatly surprised and actually very happy. Anyway, so she and I walked the property. She was sharing with me several beautiful oil paintings, furniture that she said, no one's going to want this. And I, of course, immediately sent the photographs to my different resources. And when I told her that we could handle a seamless move out of everything in her home, in addition to meeting the closing date for Linda, without her having to fly back from her new primary residence, she was absolutely gleeful. So we spent about 5 hours together. I emailed her all the information pertaining to values, auction house estimates. She did meet one or two of the auction houses personally because she was in town. she left town. I never saw her again. Linda had a lockbox, and we moved the project straight through having the home cleaned, completely ready for closing. So that is where clients find great value. In today's market, during COVID, our business has not stopped. Where we see the our true value is the homes that we have prepped in January and February. Those homes have all sold, and we had to meet, again, closing deadlines. So often families would have moved in with family members, or they might, take a couple days off. So we had a very limited interface with movers and with us. And that has an enormous value, because not only do we interview movers and oversee the movers and often pack and move kitchens and bathrooms the day before the move, we fully install homes. And that's something that people can't wrap their heads around. We're truly, it's kind of that ta-da moment where your art is hung, because we FaceTime with clients or Zoom with them, whatever, but they can truly have a no contact, seamless move. And it's very rewarding, obviously, for us, because it's for our clients. But in COVID, limited contact with all of us is something that we're striving for. And it's obviously changing all of our industries. That's why we're here today on Zoom.
I think I like to applaud Claudia, but she brought a great point up that I remember and I agree with. Sometimes when clients are moving, whether they're seniors, I'm a senior residential expert specialist. So that means I can help people. Well, I help people, millennials. I help people from graduating college till they're going to the senior residences. And Claudia is going to talk about the ages she's helped. But I think sometimes they don't realize that they can get someone. They don't know how to delegate. They don't know how to go about, well, I can't handle it. I'm moving out of my family home for 40 years. I don't know how to live in the new home, or I don't know where to put the things. And I love the way Claudia, when they come and kind of explain a little, I know this is about move out, but it relates to move out on when you identify the items that will be moving out with them, and the rest you already discussed how they're going to be disposed of. But it's very helpful to know someone else may rehang them, might design the floor plan so that their whole new they're in a new life. It's a whole new step and a challenge. And that makes my role even more successful, and their happiness when they're leaving something that was so meaningful where they raised their family.
And also concurrently, Linda, because you might have a young family, for example, moving from downtown Chicago to a suburban home. They don't have the resources on the North Shore or Western suburbs or any place else in the city who can handle with paint selections, who can handle with timelining a move, orchestrating the move, receiving the two moving bids for them. They might not understand that their cabinets can be painted. They never liked them, but they know it's a value to buy a home at a lesser price that they can fix up. We at CMFTO can handle all that minutia that's really not in your bailiwick. You're listing and selling homes, and you're an amazing resource. But the fact that you have us to pass your entrusted client to us, and they'll be well served all the way through the moving, minor updates. Recently, we worked in Lincoln Park, moving a family just of 3, hopefully to be 4 soon. And they went to live with some relatives while we handled, plus, and I'll get back to that, the more important part of that was we prepared the home for market. And when we talk about making a successful move, making a successful, saleable property, editing and preparing the home is essential, right? So we had prepped this home in Lincoln Park. It sold within 3 weeks during COVID. And then we successfully moved the family without any contact. And so that's something we're doing for all of our clients. And at least we can advise them if they're not ready for us to come in and take over an entire project. We can certainly timeline, help someone understand all the steps so they're successful in their move.
I think that's so important, because we are showing properties as long as they're not occupied. That's a state law. We cannot have open houses for properties that are listed. And if the client will agree to a showing, we can do a showing. So I even have on my page, on my website, Live in Plano Shore, a new page, Guiding You Home Safely, which Claudia will relate to in her business too, on how we actually show a house. We wear masks. Now the gloves is kind of an optional. I happen to have a client who's a seller, who's a doctor, and he insists that it's smarter to be washing your hands a lot, that if you're touching the surfaces with the gloves, you might just be bringing contaminants around.
Right.
So we wipe everything down with Lysol ahead of time. We open all the cabinets, the doors, and you touch almost nothing. And I stand there. Claudia, how do you handle either the prep or the moving itself so that it's COVID friendly is the right word, I guess?
Okay, so recently we were prepping a home, and initially I can do a Zoom or a FaceTime meeting with the client. I always ask the client to send me a videotape so I can review it and we can be on the phone and discuss room by room what needs to happen. Whenever we go to a property, whether it's just an initial visit by myself or one of my key associates, we always take our temperature first thing before we get in our cars to go to the meeting. But I always wear a mask, and I wear gloves in this situation because I will be opening, I'll be, touching their knobs and pulls in their kitchen to see how much we really have to deal with, how much has to be edited. Has the home been edited prior to selling, or is this a prep for market? Then it sells, and then we move them, because that comes in, both categories apply here. And we carry different shoes, so we change our shoes entering and exiting a home, so we're not dragging any debris or anything into the home. Or if the client would prefer us to take off our shoes, we have no problem with that.
Claudia brought up a great point, and actually, one of my favorite books is The Home Edit, which is for regular people like ourselves that aren't lucky enough to have Claudia or interior designers. So, Claudia, I always assume that people don't know what we mean in our professional jargon. What does it mean to say an edited home or an unedited home?
Well, our belief system, and I actually am working on my trademark for the home editor title, because I've been talking about editing homes way before anybody else, because the word decluttering has been the very popular vernacular. I feel just like downsizing is negative, we choose to use the word rightsizing. Decluttering to me is very negative. We choose to use the word editing because we are fine-tuning homes, correct? So we might, like behind me, I'm in my office, and this is how every space should look in order for a home to sell. So I'm kind of giving you a cheat sheet. Let me move over here. I'm actually covering up a speaker here. But anyway, you can see how we want to show a property and what's behind the scenes and what's in the lower bookcases. For Linda's ability to sell a property, it needs to be edited of items that you aren't taking to your next home. That's the easiest way, because it's not making the move for you and we don't need it for staging, then it goes. And that starts the editing process. But I want to give my 3 tips for moving, because it's very important. Firstly, to have an edited home prior to engaging a moving company. Potentially your home is sold quickly and you haven't needed to edit it. It must be edited. It must be decluttered. All the items that you don't want to have moved with you need to be out of the home to make a successful move. The second tip I think is very important, and I hope you're all writing this down. Please, if you don't hire us, please receive 2 moving bids. Ask your friends. Certainly, I'll give you my contact information. Glad to share in LA and in Chicago the top movers that we've used successfully. And thirdly, when you're looking at your home, it's so easy to forget, oh, that closet in the basement. Oh, I have an attic. Oh, my garage. these are things last minute. If we aren't there timelining and surveying a property, people will call me. I have a closing in 3 days. I forgot about my garage. It is true. It happens. We just did an enormous attic. The gentleman said, there's really nothing up there. It was 8 hours of 3 of us dragging stuff. And one of my dear haulers came in the middle of COVID, and he put it in a storage unit because we didn't have the resources for donation. So that's why, and maybe my fourth tip is, give yourself a chunk of time. Don't think your husband, your wife, your children are going to help you. Basically, if you're the person, the point person, take the responsibility and jump on it, because we are always short of time during moves.
Well, Claudia gave a few of my tips too, but what she touched on, and I agree with her, she's been home editing for a long time. I've been staging. I actually have a professional staging certificate and a luxury institute marketing certificate for staging. But I was interviewed about 25 years ago for Cranes about staging. And in oddity, I didn't think of this when Claudia and I were prepping for this Zoom call, because you do prep. We take it seriously, and we're glad to be on working with all of you or sharing our tips. When this client that Claudia is referencing, when she first moved from her very big estate that she'd lived in for 20 years, it took us a year to stage the property. And Cranes interviewed me to write about it and declutter, because you're moving. She moved to a 6-bedroom plus house that Claudia then moved again. So it's interesting, the stages, and I hadn't thought about that in all this time till you commented on that. And the checklists are key, because when I do the walkthrough for after Claudia had everything gone and it was cleaned and it was spotless and lovely, I got ready, and luckily I went through, well, they might open the dormers or the attic or the garage, and you have a checklist, and so it is not forgotten, which is really important, I think. Now,
it really is important.
We have some tips of things that we're sharing that Claudia shared, and I have other tips. We have often done events together over the years, like right-sizing, downsizing, upsizing. We don't know when events are going to be back, but we are going to be doing in June, based on both of our schedules, and another friend who's going to help us, a mortgage person, because we think now more than ever, the things that the 3 of us bring to the table are so important. People want to know, even if they're not considering a move now, they should start talking to a top realtor, myself or someone else, or they should talk to Claudia, because there's steps in getting ready to do this move. So each of us are going to offer a little something special to you. Mine are smaller, but will be in a luxury basket, etc. And that is a notebook, my own notebook, so you can take notes on things Claudia is sharing with you. We would do this normally in the event, but since we're all in our home, and I have a gift in that basket that will be monogrammed for you once we know who you are. And then I have a downsizing packet, right sizing, and a little booklet. The booklet is not working virtually, but there's a few goodies in that packet, because we are thankful that you might have an interest. And Claudia, I know you're offering something special.
So not only do you meet me, my offer, and it really is going to be the first person that emails the 2 of us, correct, Linda?
That's perfect.
I will be showing up at your place of residence. I could also do a virtual walkthrough. I'm offering a 1-hour virtual walkthrough, but this will be your very own refrigerated CMFTO grocery tote with some first night after your very successful move goodies.
I have one of those totes. I haven't moved, but I've gotten them at one of our events, and I use it all the time for groceries or when I'm going to Ravinia or something. So they work. They're lovely. If you have any, would you give your contact info again, Claudia, and we'll do it each once?
That's great. So my email is Claudia at CMFTO.com. And my phone number is 312-420-1221. And that's the two best ways to reach me. And the first individual or couple that reaches either Linda or myself, we're glad to, give you our offering.
Yep, that sounds great. And if for some reason you have trouble reaching one of us, we both do text, we both do email. I'm at linda.martin@cbexchange.com. That's linda.martin@cbexchange.com. And my cell is 847-275-HOME, which stands for 7253. So we've enjoyed visiting with you. You'll find us in social media. We hope you contact us. If we didn't answer a question, reach out to either of us and we'll do our best. And stay safe and stay well.
Thanks, Linda. Nice chatting.
Good to visit with you. Take care, everybody. And
bye-bye.
bye.